Taxi! We're going to Olympic Studios in Barnes in London, which is where I did a lot of recording in the early 60s. Jimi Hendrix and the Stones and occasionally the Beatles. I arrived in England in 1960, coming from South Africa, and then by 1961 I figured out that I wanted to be an engineer and got my start in the business recording mono at Advision Sound Studios on 83 New Bond Street. I was very fortunate when I was brought up in South Africa. I got a great musical education. I studied classical piano from the age of about 4 till I left South Africa and when I was about 18. And I think being a musician first, then deciding to become an engineer when I arrived in London, that was the big step that I made. When he played the guitar, there was a unified body of work. It's the guitar, the hands, the heart, the brain, it all became one. And then when he played a chord or played a solo, it was so telling and so vibrant and so unusual, and that people just were attracted to it. My job was to capture the sounds, and Chas kind of left that up to me, and then Jimmy and I sort of got into it. You know, it was always a challenge because Jimmy would go out in the studio and do something with the amp, and I'd run and have a listen. Then I'd run up to the control room, do some fast twiddling of knobs and put some reverb, some compression, some EQ on. And then he would come in and have a listen. Oh yeah, all right. Then he would run down into the studio, and it was like we kept upping the ante. Working with Zeppelin was a different kind of a challenge because here was a band that was a 4-piece, had an amazing singer, an incredible drummer, a really powerful guitar player, and of course the bass player, John Paul Jones, had this symphonic background because he was a classically trained musician. So the soundscape was bigger, certainly heavier, that's for sure. I mean, Zeppelin is known for their heaviness and also their delicateness, and there's an interesting parallel between their dynamics and what Jimi Hendrix would do and what Zeppelin would do.